Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host E-Day, bringing you some more Oritech Academy. And today, what you can see right next to me, the left and the right, we made an End Incursion portal, and I figured out how to make the Oritech Black Hole. Not just that, we have figured out how to use it as an infinite passive power source. This episode is going to be a little weird because I immediately started cleaning up things from last episode, and I made the black hole completely by accident. So the recording is going to just abruptly start. Be sure to click the link in the description below, the first link. That is the playlist to all of Oritech Academy. It will put it all on the right-hand side of your screen within your browser, in order by episode number. So if you're ready, then let's play with D-Day. Oh no, I did it on accident. No, oh no. Okay, I did not mean for this to happen. That's why the recording started so suddenly. I was cleaning everything up, and I was trying to see if I could launch a particle over the end portal, and that didn't work. It actually hit the, I'm trying to use the right words, so I'm so nervous that this black hole is going to eat the entire base now. I shot a particle of an overcharged crystal going 15,000. I shot it through the end portal, and everything just exploded in the middle, and now we have a black hole. Yep, it's an Oritech black hole. So I shot an overcharged crystal going 15,000 into the end portal, and it looks like it's slowly eating things, and I have no idea like how far this is going to reach. If this is going to eat my entire base or not. Yep, it's eaten. It's just munching away. Oh, there goes one of our guide rings. Bummer. It's still going. Man, there goes another guide ring and a motor. This is rough. And it's weird, like the way it's choppy and stuff. It's really weird because I am running 120 frames per second right now. So the actual animation for the black hole is pretty choppy. Yeah, see, like I have 120 frames per second. Something about the black hole, like the animation looks bad. It looks like every time it eats an item, it fires a tachyon. And I'm wondering how far it can reach. Because I have a feeling that this star shape that it's made is the maximum distance, and now it's trying to pull like the inside section, like it goes down a certain amount of blocks and no further than that center block. So I believe it's creating like a giant cube laid down on its point. And I'm curious, once it's done eating items, will it stop firing tachyons? Because I'm running an Oritech pack that doesn't have that device that you can attach to the black hole, like the lock or whatever it's called, to attach on top of the black hole to be able to draw power out of it. This pack does not have that item. I hope it keeps firing tachyons after it's eaten everything it can eat. But if not, maybe we'll have to set some kind of a block placer down at the edge. And then see if we can feed the block placer items that we'll place in front of it, and the black hole will eat that one item. But the surface area, wow, the surface area to cover this in a cube of tachyon emitters is going to be expensive. Oh, no, it reached a little bit further now. I'm really worried this thing is gonna slowly eat my base. I was planning on setting up a whole bunch of overcharged crystals and heading to work, and now I'm worried that when I come back, my base will be eaten. Nope, it looks like it's gonna keep going. I thought it was done expanding, but I think it's expanding more now. Oh no. This might be a very, very slow end to the pack. If this guy just keeps eating, it's over. I really hope it does not reach the battery and the reactor. Okay, guys. Crisis has been averted. I originally was going to let this guy keep going. I thought it only reached a certain radius from the center, but then I was wrong and it ate another row. So I was worried. I had to go to work. This is the day after, and I didn't want to come back to a massive hole in my world. So I tried making a basic vanilla cobblestone generator. So I dumped lava in one side, I dumped water in the other side, and I have fixed this problem. Because back down here, the lava goes into the water, creates the stone, and because it is the next one in line at the very bottom, it's the point of one of these corners. So this would be a point here. This would be a point, this one, and then of course the point that's directly above it. Those are the furthest distances that the black hole can reach. So the bottom point here is where I made the lava and the water touch. And luckily for us, or luckily for me, the black hole is continuously pulling from this slot because it keeps putting a new block into that, and that's the next one the black hole wants to eat. Luckily for us, it's not completely random. That would be horrible. It needs to pick them up in a specific order, luckily. And this is the one that it picks up. It's the bottom one. And the creation of the stone at the very bottom is just enough to feed the black hole in the middle. So we have stopped it from spreading, at least. One thing that's kind of cool is every time it sucks up a particle from underneath it, the particles, the neutrons, and by neutrons I mean tachyons, the tachyons are always flying up in the opposite direction of what it's eating. So I'm thinking, let's see if we can take advantage of this black hole. I already set this area up here. This is the center, and if we put that block, it eats that block. So we cannot put any of the tachyon absorbers any lower than this, or else it'll eat the tachyon absorbers next. So what I'm thinking is this row will be the row for the tachyons. So that means this row here needs to be the energy pipes. So let's see what we can do. Maybe we can put this black hole to use to do what I originally thought, and to make ourselves like an infinite supply of passive power. So we'll take apart the tachyon absorbers that I have built around this tiny boy here, and let's see if we can make infinite power. Good thing I've already made 19 of these while learning. Okay, it did hit one of them. 90,000. Oh, but I need to watch out, because now I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing more than 10,000 RF a tick, because there's no point in grabbing all of these if the cable can still only transfer the 10,000 RF a tick through the energy cable. We're going to bottleneck ourselves. It is totally absorbing this as passive power, though. This is awesome. And now that I put these tachyon absorbers, it's firing a lot more beams. So the tachyon absorbers, That's the hard part. We need Heisenberg compensators, superconductors, and a big solar panel for each one. So we're going to have to mass produce these now. Especially the superconductors, because I think we're going to need to do superconductors to move all of this power. Let's see, are there any that are not being tagged at all? 40, 0, 40, 240, yeah, they're all getting tagged. All right, we're going to have to mass produce some of these superconductors. It looks like we got the area covered. It doesn't look like the shotgun effect passes outwards. Now we have a lot of superconductor that can fill up with free power. I'm pretty sure it'll spread to the ones that are not being powered. I wonder if it consolidates. Yeah, the center ones are all full. Okay, so I am testing different setups. One's lava, one's water. And I was trying to figure out how I can make it faster, because I realized the closer the item is to the black hole, the faster it gets absorbed, the faster the tachyons are being shot. So I'm foolishly put a block of water here to try to turn the entire slab into cobblestone. The second the water touched the black hole, it destroyed the black hole. Big bummer. So I accidentally broke our black hole by dumping water on it. I'm really disappointed, but that's useful information for you guys. That means do not put water on your black hole. It will destroy it. What's worse is I just got done uprooting all 3 or all 4 of the batteries and bringing it upstairs. So now I have one massive battery here. And it was filling up. We're at 428 million with a maximum transfer of 131 RF a tick. I had this set up, and now what I have to do is I have to purposefully make the ender portal over again and then collide it. But, I mean, luckily for you guys, now I can actually record it happening. So I'm going to have to fill in this spot, put the machines back together, and run it at least 2 more times. All right, let's do this again. We have another ender pearl going over 10,000. Let's go ahead and close the loop right here. Oh no, actually, we need to close the loop over here. Let me do it like this. And then we need to find the sweet spot. Redstone repeater. The signal stops here. Oh, there we go. And there's our new end portal. Okay, step 1. Oh, and I just realized that because this guy is set to do a jump over 2, it created the end portal way over here. No, that's so much worse. So it jumped over this spot here where it's always been colliding. And because it's going a little bit faster, it launched it all the way to here. So now we're more towards the middle. And the entire thing is now off to the side. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do... It's inside my loop. Yeah. It's directly inside my circle, so I'm not going to be able to use this setup now for 15,000 to be able to collide into this because it's inside my circle. So what we should have done is we should have stayed with the particle accelerator running 1 joule, because that just messed everything up. All right, let's try this one more time. 800, 2,500. 5,000. Good. There we go. Yep. And now we can float it in going 1 as soon as it hits the 10,000 for the end incursion. Okay. We're at 9, 5, and 10. Okay. Let's manually drop this guy in here, and it should make... No, don't throw that. It should make another one. 1 block lower. Okay. At least we're doing a lot of end incursion examples, right? Now we have 2 end portals. But this one is outside of the circle. That's why it's important. So yeah, good. We can do this. And yeah, that's the important part. It has to be outside of the circle. We did it. And now the big problem is we already attempted to fire a particle into the end portal going 15,000 and it didn't work. We might have to push it past 15,000. All right, let's launch this guy through and see how far it can go. Overcharge crystal. And let's see how far we can charge it. Thinking anything past 16,000 should be the same thing I did the other time. Let's also put these guys here. Like that. To recreate that part as well. We are in the final ring. Alright, everything is set. Let's see, what are we running at now? 10,000. I'm also going to preemptively try to make a setup for cobblestone under this, and I'm going to try really hard not to step into this line because it will instantly zap me. Okay, so we're going to try this. I'm going to do lava here. It'll flow into the bottom. Yeah. And we're going to do water here. Alright, and it'll flow into the bottom, making a cobblestone directly under the end portal, but this time we don't need to worry about water touching the black hole and making it vanish. Yeah, look at that. Got it. Okay. So that is a better design. Now we don't need to douse the water from the ceiling. To be honest, guys, I was just trying to make it look really cool. But let's see, what are we at so far? We are at 14.7. It's very slow because it's running just off of the 40,000 RF a tick from the 4 nuclear reactors. I'm really hoping that 16,000 is the sweet spot since we've already tested 15,000 and it didn't work. And there's our 15,000. So let's try 16,000 now. It's possible that it collided, it created the black hole, but then the water coming from the ceiling doused it, so we didn't get to see it actually be there. That is possible, but I know this setup can go higher, so I'm pretty sure we don't have to hit it at a specific speed, and if we hit it harder, it won't make the black hole. I'm pretty sure there's only a minimum set. And of course, we can't right-click the turn because it will fire it off in the other direction. It won't fire it straight. So we have to set it off with a redstone signal. Super important. I'm not 100% sure if the particle being accelerated has to be an overcharged crystal. I'm using that because that's what worked last time for me. 15.5. 15.8. And let's go. We have our 16. So let's see, 16,000. Let's go. Yes, we did it. There we go. We did it, guys. 16,000 with an overcharged crystal. And it is creating cobblestone. But it is pulling from a little bit around as well. We can get it to work. Yeah, it just ate one of the motors. It is firing at different vectors now. But it is firing faster. We do need to move this entire thing back 1. I know that. It looks like we are back up and running towards refilling our large energy storage that we have on the surface. We're definitely missing particles that are flying off to the left. Those are the ones we're not catching. and a little bit to the right. The little blue circle you see on some of the tachyon absorbers means it has not gotten a charge in a while. Yeah, they're still missing over here. Some of them can't be helped. They are just, the vector is just way too off. Yeah. Okay, I've gotten it to where 2 water blocks and 2 lava blocks are making enough cobblestone underneath to be able to supply the black hole without it expanding and destroying our base. It is firing out a crazy amount of tachyons, which is filling up our battery upstairs. I am going to try to figure out how I can run the battery upstairs, maybe through an energy trash can, to see if it is creating more than what the battery can produce, which is 131,000 RF a tick. All right, my guys, so let's go ahead and drop some more plutonium into our reactors. I went ahead and I cleaned up a lot of the basement now that we cannot do the 15,000 collision in the same ring anymore. We accidentally made this end portal within the ring. We got to ignore it. So we moved everything over and then made our second end portal and collided it into a black hole outside of the ring. But now we no longer can run the 15,000 because it will eat the guide rings that are too close to the black hole. So we can't do the 15,000 anymore. I went ahead and I deconstructed that ring and cleaned up the floor so we can see the circles a little bit better. This is now set for me to alternate between an automated setup for 2,500, which is going to be the adamant dust and the netherrack, to collide into the netherite scraps that we need, to, of course, alloy into netherite ingots, and then alloy again into the duradium. So let's go ahead and set that one up while I close off this episode. We got netherrack that gets triggered when the particle accelerator here goes over 2,500. So let's see. The wonky part is that as long as these guys are fully powered, it actually triggers it to exit before this particle can actually get to the ring. So we had to lower the amount of linear motors for this to be able to trigger properly. There goes one. And let's see, with the batteries full, we are going at... Oh. Did not create it. So let's see, what was the issue? Oh, it put it in the wrong one. That's weird. It hasn't done that before. But I did shut down my mod pack and turned it back on again. Maybe it has something to do with the particle accelerators, the linear motors, being full instead of empty. The important part on getting this to work in an automated way is the variable has to be that the motors are empty and running off of the 40,000 from the nuclear reactors. So yeah, now they're empty. And let's see. Triggered and collided. Yeah, and for some reason it's going into this one from now. I don't know why it decided to change. Before I shut down the mod pack, it would collide here. And now it's deciding to collide inside the circle. So that does change where the end product is. But that is something that we can fix just by having an exit point of items being pulled out from both of them. So now we can have it pulled out from both ends. Depends on when I turn on and off my mod pack in which ring it decides to collide. But now we're pulling out of both particle accelerators, so we can automate this with adamant dust and netherrack. There's the 2700. It's traveling and Yeah, it's colliding inside there now. And now it's going on to the next one. Yeah, there it is. Other than that, I'm going to work on setting this one up right here to trigger into the outside ring. So this one needs to be changed to turn, and then the redstone needs to be plugged in here for it to shoot here, and then put it inside the outside ring. Everything is attached underneath by superconductors now, and I need to do a workaround, because the problem now is I put down redstone here and the black hole eats the redstone signal. So I'll have to go underground to set up the automated 5,000. But right now we have the automated 2,500 going on. The black hole, it is doing its thing. Everything is being absorbed up top. Some of them are not being hit, which is weird. This entire corner here was not being hit, so I broke it down and I moved it to over here. And now these guys are not getting hit. So I might move these ones to a better spot as well. But we are catching most of the particles being shot by the black hole, and they are going upstairs into the battery, which I have figured out with the energy trash can set to 14,000. It is now slowly going up in the battery. It has a maximum transfer of 50,000 through the superconductor, but the trash can is limited to 14,000. If I set this up to 15,000, this battery slowly dies. So that means the black hole and the tachyons are not making 15,000 RF a tick. They're somewhere between 14,000 and 15,000. But it is 100% free RF, which I absolutely love. If I hook this up to the existing superconductor lineup, then we can crawl our way towards automating things. And you guys know I'm in school right now and working in my internship. I will have my master's degree in December, and I need something to work while I am at work. So this works perfectly for me. I don't want to sit here, babysit, or have something make as fast as possible, but I have to sit here and deal with it personally. I have my computer in my garage, and it is running AFK, and it is getting me all of the things that I need to do the next episode for you guys. And it is not going into my personal life, so I can still work, I can still do school, I can still take care of my family, and my Minecraft world does everything I need it, which that is exactly what I want in my life. But long story short, you need to make the Oritech Black Hole, we have to fire it through rings, make it faster and faster and faster. We need to do a 10,000 joule collision of 2 ender pearls for the end pearl. And then what I personally did is I charged up an overcharged crystal to 16,000 joules, and then I used redstone to trigger it to fire into the end portal, which turned it into the black hole from Oritech. Very cool.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Smash like to show your appreciation, and consider leaving a boom in the comment section below. Also, click on my dude here to subscribe for more Let's Plays. Ooh.